$1 can turn into 115 million, as tonight is the first Powerball drawing for New York State. The odds to win, just 1 in 195 million.
Candace, the construction was going on right behind me. That's where the scaffold partially collapsed, coming down with workers on it. Now, 5 workers were transported to area hospitals. 4 were transferred to Wilson Hospital, and 1 was transferred to Lourdes Hospital.
This is one of 3 tower sections. When pieced together, the tower will stand almost 80 meters or 250 feet into the air.
State police are now cracking down on fireworks protection. Troopers have been going around to local stores with this tip sheet, advising businesses on what to look out for in suspicious customers.
If this new law goes through, fire departments believe that it'll get more of their volunteers out to important calls, but it'll also bring new volunteers into the fire department itself.
We'll get a lot more manpower, hopefully, for our early morning calls, and because they won't have to worry about being late for work.
Now, this was a construction project that was actually moving quite quickly, but everything has come to a complete halt as state investigators are trying to figure out why the scaffold collapsed.
Now, Johnson City Code of Enforcement is condemning the building after NYSEG inspectors found numerous violations inside the complex.
Action News photojournalist Jeff Hontz takes us to the Greater Binghamton Airport, where 8 trucks spent the day pounding the pavement.
I can plow to the left, I can plow to the right.
A really heavy snowfall, they're out there continuously.
So we have someone here 24/7 monitoring the weather, monitoring the conditions of the field.
We start off with the sweepers out there.
Here I'm moving it all to the right side of the taxiway.
Because of the clearance of the wingtips, we can't keep snowbanks along the edge of the runway.
It'll go 150 with the wind behind it, but normally it's a good toss. Keep rotating around, do the runway, main taxiway.
We don't just run out there and plow when an airplane's coming in. We stay right on it, keep that runway in good condition.
9377 squawk 1605.
It's perfect. There's nothing on it. Any plane can come down on this runway right now.
There's a lot of communication involved.
Ground truck 6, I'm on Alpha. Can I go up and...
If all the communication's working, air traffic control is telling you when the planes are coming in.
Alpha, we're going to check out the conditions.
You know you have a flight coming in half an hour, so from, say, Philadelphia. It's snowing 1 inch an hour, and you've got all your snow crews working, and it just works out. You've got the runway clear, the aircraft comes in and lands, pilot reports braking action good. You've done your job.
Action News photojournalist Jeff Hontz hit the dirt with riders to check out this fast and fearless sport.
Okay, riders, let's set them up.
You can either do a 1-pedal start or a 2-pedal start. And we're going to pedal as fast as we can, get over the jump, keep pedaling as best you can. Try to manual through some of it. Chris Edwards, 42, from Newark Valley, New York, and I've been riding since 1982 in Sacramento, California. And we're here at Griffin Park in Endicott, New York. When we show up, we're going to have our bike make sure it has proper air in the tires and nothing's really loose on it. Every kid that has a bike, it's your first sense of freedom is to be able to ride down the street or as far as you can get without your parents yelling at you. We wear our long sleeve jersey to protect our elbows and the race pants. We have our full face helmet, and that protects us from any kind of falls that we're going to have.
Okay, riders, let's set them up.
BMX has been in the Binghamton area for over 25 years. And to know that we're going to be able to race every Friday night, no rainouts. It took us a long time, but it was well worth the wait and the headaches that came along with it. We hope to be able to host a national event sometime next year so we can expose the southern tier to the rest of the nation. Hit the turns, brakes only slow you down, so you're not trying to do that. It's very rewarding, it's instant gratification. You don't have to wait that long to find out if you're the winner. You know as soon as you cross the line. Go through. And then to the finish line, victory.
When the tones go off, they're ready to go. West Corner Station 1 is open every day of the year because of the work of its volunteers. For a station that averages nearly 500 calls a year, that's a big time commitment.
I wasn't leaving for the simple wires down calls and, simple calls like that where you didn't need a lot of manpower for, but I would leave when we did need a lot of manpower to help out a member of our community.
Unlike these volunteers, emergencies don't work on a schedule. New legislation awaiting Governor Patterson's signature says that volunteers can't be fired if they were out on an emergency call and were late or missed a day of work.
As a taxpayer, if my house was on fire, I sure would want everyone that's possibly available to come out and protect my property, protect my family, and stuff like that.
If this new law goes through, fire departments believe that it'll get more of their volunteers out to important calls, but it'll also bring new volunteers into the fire department itself.
We'll get a lot more manpower, hopefully, for our early morning calls, and because they won't have to worry about being late for work and getting in trouble at work.
Folks that maybe have been kind of not wanting to do it and decide that there might be some protection out there and decide, well, maybe I will join the fire department now.
Not only that, but volunteers might also be able to respond to emergencies at other times when it's hard to get a crew together.
Daytime response is an issue with just about every fire department volunteer. So with this kind of bill being passed, if it does pass, their daytime response will hopefully increase because of that.
First responders say it's a step in the right direction in acknowledging the service they provide to the community. In the town of Union, Matt Markham, WBNG-TV, Action News.
About.com reports that a GPS system is one of the most commonly stolen items from cars. About 25,000 of them are stolen every year, and these plastic suction cup rings could be a key telltale sign that a car has one. Vestal police are now urging neighbors to lock their cars at all times.
Normally I didn't, but now that I know that we have thefts in the area, yeah, definitely.
And make sure windows are rolled up all the way. In Vestal, Lee Dana, WBNG-TV, Action News. It all started around 1 o'clock Wednesday afternoon when 19-month-old Jaden Newman was found trapped inside this heating vent here at 78 Main Street in Johnson City. You can see the hole in the floor where the vent cover should be, which enabled him to climb inside. His mother was in the bathroom at the time.
I heard him screaming and crying, so I ran out in the living room and I heard screaming from the vent. So I ran downstairs to my mom's house and was crying and told her to call 911.
Firefighters freed Newman by pulling him out from the bottom of the vent in the basement, 2 floors down from where he fell in. Now, Johnson City Code of Enforcement is condemning the building after NYSEG inspectors found numerous violations inside the complex.
It's not safe here.
Broken windows, busted walls, and beat-up couches line some of the walls of the building. Code enforcement has red-tagged many of the appliances in the building as unsafe, and all tenants in the 12 apartments must find a temporary place to stay.
I don't want to leave.
The Red Cross has set up a site for anyone still looking for shelter.
It's a safe, secure site, just so that they know that they will be fed, they have some place to stay, and it's going to be manned 24 hours.
In the meantime, JC officials will work to bring the building back up to code.
They should have put screws in the heater so they can't lift it up,
so that families can reside safely without worrying about any danger or any holes in the floor.